Imagine looking at your partner 10 years from now and feeling even more in love than you do today. Not just comfortable, not just content, but deeply, passionately, unshakably connected. Now imagine this isn't luck or magic or finding the perfect person. It's the result of 12 simple habits you practice consistently. Here's what nobody tells you about great relationships. They're not built on grand gestures or perfect compatibility. They're built on small daily habits that compound over time into something extraordinary. In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you the 12 specific habits that separate couples who stay deeply in love for decades from couples who drift apart after a few years. These aren't complicated. They're not time-consuming, but they're powerful enough that implementing even half of them will transform your relationship completely. Let me tell you about Sarah and James. They'd been together for 8 years and something had shifted. They weren't fighting. They weren't unhappy. They were just existing together. The spark was gone. The deep conversations had been replaced by logistics about bills and schedules. They'd look at each other across the dinner table and feel like roommates instead of lovers. They both wondered if this was just what long-term relationships became. Then they discovered something that changed everything. They didn't go to couples therapy. They didn't take a romantic vacation. They simply started practicing 12 small habits consistently. Within 6 months, friends were asking them what had happened. They seemed like newlyweds again. The connection was back. The intimacy was deeper than ever. They'd learned something crucial. Great relationships aren't about finding the right person and coasting. They're about doing the right things consistently. Here's the truth about love that our culture gets completely wrong. We're taught that love is a feeling that happens to you. You fall in love. You fall out of love. You're either compatible or you're not. But research from relationship psychologists like Dr. John Gottman, who studied thousands of couples over 40 years, proves something different. Love is a practice. Connection is a skill. The couples who stay deeply connected for decades aren't lucky. They're doing specific things consistently that maintain and deepen their bond. Your relationship is like a garden. You can plant the most beautiful flowers, but if you don't water them, pull the weeds, and tend the soil, the garden dies. It doesn't matter how perfect the plants were at the beginning. Without consistent care, everything withers. The 12 habits I'm about to share are how you water your relationship garden. They're how you keep things alive and growing instead of slowly dying from neglect. Neuroscience has revealed something fascinating about long-term relationships. The initial passionate love you feel when you first meet someone is driven by dopamine and norepinephrine. It's intoxicating, but it's temporary. That phase lasts about 2 years maximum. After that, your brain chemistry changes. But here's what's incredible. Couples who practice certain habits can maintain high levels of connection and satisfaction for decades. They're not chasing that initial high. They're building something deeper. They're creating what researchers call secure attachment and companionate love, which is actually more fulfilling than the initial rush once you know how to cultivate it. Think about how much energy people put into finding the right person. Dating apps, first dates. Trying to determine compatibility. But almost nobody teaches you what to do once you've found someone. The habits that actually maintain a thriving relationship. That's what these 12 practices will give you. They're the difference between love that fades and love that deepens with time. If you want more strategies for building stronger relationships and living with more intention, hit that subscribe button right now. Every week I break down the science of human connection and personal growth into practical habits you can use immediately. This information could save or transform your relationship. Don't miss it. Now let's dive into the 12 habits that create deep love and unbreakable connection. Habit number 1. The daily reconnection ritual. Every single day, create a moment where you fully connect without distractions. This isn't about quantity of time. It's about quality of presence. It could be 10 minutes in the morning before work, where you actually look at each other and talk. It could be 20 minutes after work where you sit together and share how your day went. No phones, no TV, just genuine presence and attention. Dr. John Gottman calls this building your emotional bank account. Every time you turn toward your partner instead of away, you're making a deposit. These deposits accumulate. They create a reservoir of goodness that you can draw from during difficult times. Couples who have strong emotional bank accounts can weather storms that would destroy couples who've let their accounts run dry. Michael and Lisa were both working demanding jobs. They'd come home exhausted, zone out on their phones, and barely speak. They felt disconnected but couldn't figure out why. They implemented one habit: Every evening at 7, they'd sit on the couch for 15 minutes, no devices, and just talk. They'd share one good thing and one challenging thing from their day. Within 3 weeks, they felt close again. That simple ritual of daily reconnection changed everything. They started looking forward to that time together. It became the anchor of their day. Habit number 2, the appreciation expression practice. Every day, tell your partner one specific thing you appreciate about them. Not generic compliments, specific observations. Not just "I love you," but "I noticed how patient you were with your mom on the phone today, and I really admire that about you." Or "Thank you for making coffee this morning. That small gesture made my day better." Or "I was thinking about how you always remember my favorite snacks at the store and it made me smile." This habit counteracts something called negative sentiment override, which is when couples get stuck in patterns of noticing what's wrong instead of what's right. Your brain has a negativity bias. It's designed to notice threats and problems. In relationships, this means you can start taking the good stuff for granted and only noticing the irritating stuff. Daily appreciation retrains your brain to notice the positive. Research from the Gottman Institute shows that happy couples have a 5-to-1 ratio of positive to negative interactions. 5 positive moments for every negative one. When that ratio drops below 5-to-1, relationships start to fail. Daily appreciation is how you maintain that ratio. You're deliberately creating positive moments instead of letting negativity dominate. Jennifer had fallen into a pattern of criticizing her husband. She noticed every little thing he did wrong and rarely mentioned what he did right. She started a practice. Every evening, she'd tell him one specific thing she appreciated. At first, it felt forced, but within 2 weeks, something shifted. She started noticing positive things throughout the day because she knew she'd be sharing one later. Her entire perception of him changed. He felt seen and valued. He started doing more of the things she appreciated. The relationship shifted from critical to connected. Habit number 3, the conflict repair attempt. When you have a disagreement or tense moment, make a repair attempt within the first few minutes. A repair attempt is anything that prevents negativity from escalating. It could be humor. It could be a gentle touch. It could be saying, "I'm sorry, I'm being defensive right now. Can we start over?" It could be, "I don't want to fight about this. I love you and we'll figure it out." Gottman's research found that successful repair attempts are one of the strongest predictors of relationship satisfaction. It's not about avoiding conflict. Healthy couples have conflicts. It's about preventing conflicts from becoming destructive. Repair attempts are how you put on the brakes before things spiral into hurtful territory. Habit number 4, the weekly state of the union. Once a week, sit down together for 30 minutes and talk about your relationship. What's going well? What needs attention? Any concerns or appreciations? This isn't about airing grievances. It's about creating a safe space to check in, address small issues before they become big ones, and stay aligned on your shared life. Most couples avoid these conversations because they're afraid of conflict. But here's the paradox. Avoiding small conversations leads to big blow-ups. When you create a regular time to discuss things, issues get addressed when they're still manageable. Nothing festers. Nothing builds up. You're maintaining your relationship proactively instead of waiting for problems to explode. David and Emma started doing weekly check-ins every Sunday morning over coffee. At first, it felt awkward, but after a few weeks, they realized how many small disconnections they were catching and fixing before they became real problems. They'd talk about feeling distant that week and make plans to reconnect. They'd discuss an upcoming stressful period and plan how to support each other. The weekly ritual gave them confidence that their relationship could handle anything because they had a system for addressing it. Habit number 5, the physical affection baseline. Touch your partner every single day in non-sexual ways. Hold hands while walking. Hug for at least 6 seconds. Sit close on the couch. Rub their shoulders. Kiss them hello and goodbye. Physical touch releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It creates feelings of safety and connection at a neurological level. Many couples let physical affection disappear once the honeymoon phase ends. They only touch during sex or not at all. This creates emotional distance because your body needs that physical connection to maintain feelings of closeness. 6-second hugs specifically are powerful because that's how long it takes for oxytocin to start releasing. Quick pecks don't do it. You need sustained contact. Rachel and Tom had stopped touching except during sex, which had also become rare. They implemented a rule. Hug for 6 seconds every morning and evening. Hold hands during their evening walk. That physical reconnection sparked emotional reconnection. They started feeling closer. Sex became more frequent because the general physical intimacy was back. Touch was the bridge back to connection. Habit number 6, the individual growth support. Actively support your partner's individual interests and growth. Encourage them to pursue hobbies, friendships, and goals that are theirs alone. Ask about their interests. Celebrate their progress. Give them time and space to be individuals, not just part of a couple. Codependency kills relationships. When two people lose themselves in the relationship and have no separate identity, resentment builds. Healthy relationships are two whole people choosing to be together, not two half people clinging to each other. When you support your partner's individual growth, you're investing in the relationship because you're ensuring both people stay interesting, fulfilled, and whole. Mark used to feel threatened when his wife wanted time with friends or to take a class without him. He implemented a new habit, actively encouraging her pursuits and asking about them with genuine interest. She started feeling more fulfilled. She brought more energy and joy back to the relationship. He realized supporting her independence made their time together richer because she was happier. Habit number 7, the technology-free time block. Create sacred time every day where devices are completely away. No phones at dinner. No scrolling in bed. No checking notifications during conversations. Technology is the silent killer of modern relationships. You're physically together but mentally apart. The screen gets your attention instead of your partner. Research shows that even having a phone visible during a conversation reduces the quality of that conversation. Your partner can sense they're not getting your full attention. Creating device-free time sends a powerful message. You're more important than anything on this screen. Habit number 8, the future dreams discussion. Regularly talk about your future together. What do you want to build? What experiences do you want to have? What kind of life are you creating together? Couples who share dreams and work toward them together stay connected. They have a shared purpose beyond just existing in the same space. Habit number 9, the proactive date night schedule. Regular dates and treat them as non-negotiable. Not just dinner out. Actual experiences together. Try new things. Have adventures. Break routines. Novelty and excitement trigger dopamine release, which maintains romantic feelings. Couples who try new things together report higher relationship satisfaction. Habit number 10, the assumption of positive intent. When your partner does something that bothers you, assume positive intent first. Ask yourself, is there a generous interpretation of this behavior? This prevents you from creating stories about how they don't care or they're trying to hurt you. Most relationship conflict comes from misinterpreting neutral actions as negative. Habit number 11, the celebration amplification. When your partner shares good news, respond with enthusiastic support. Ask questions. Be genuinely excited. Research from Dr. Shelley Gable shows that how couples respond to good news is more important than how they respond to bad news. Active, constructive responding builds connection. Passive or dismissive responding erodes it. Habit number 12, the regular intimacy initiation. Don't wait for spontaneous desire. Schedule intimacy and initiate even when you don't feel like it. Responsive desire is normal in long-term relationships. You might not start out wanting sex, but once you begin, desire follows. Couples who maintain regular physical intimacy stay more connected emotionally. Let me recap these 12 habits. First, daily reconnection ritual for consistent presence. Second, appreciation expression to maintain positivity. Third, conflict repair attempts to prevent escalation. Fourth, weekly state of union for proactive maintenance. Fifth, physical affection baseline for oxytocin bonding. Sixth, individual growth support for healthy independence. Seventh, technology-free time for real attention. Eighth, future dreams discussion for shared purpose. Ninth, proactive date nights for continued novelty. 10th, assumption of positive intent to prevent misunderstandings. 11th, celebration amplification for mutual joy. 12th, regular intimacy initiation for physical connection. Here's what your relationship looks like without these habits. You drift apart slowly. You stop really seeing each other. Conversations become transactional. Physical touch disappears. You feel lonely even though you're together. You wonder if this is all there is. You start questioning if you're with the right person. The love you once felt seems like a distant memory. Here's what your relationship looks like with these habits. You feel genuinely excited to see your partner. Your conversations are rich and meaningful. You feel seen, appreciated, and valued. Physical affection is natural and frequent. You face challenges together as a team. Your connection deepens year after year instead of fading. You look at your partner and feel grateful. You're not just coexisting, you're building something beautiful together. Your challenge: pick 4 of these 12 habits. Discuss them with your partner. Commit to practicing them consistently for 60 days. Don't try to implement everything at once. Start small. Build momentum. Drop a comment right now telling me which 4 habits you're committing to. If this video gave you hope for your relationship, hit that like button so more couples can find this information. Subscribe, because I'm sharing strategies every week that can genuinely improve your life and relationships. Love isn't something that happens to you. It's something you build through small daily actions. These 12 habits are your blueprint. Start today. Your future together is worth it.